It's a nice hot day, you're relaxing in the sun, and you start to work up a bit of a thirst. So, you head inside to the fridge to reach for your favourite beverage. For me, it would be a nice icy cold can of Coke. But then you realise you didn't put your cans in the fridge, and so you're going to have to put them in the freezer, then wait half an hour, and then hope that you pull them out before they freeze and explode in your face, or end up like an ice block. Then you think to yourself, if only there was a machine where I could chill my drinks in a couple of minutes, just like how I can heat my food in a couple of minutes in a microwave. This is things I wish existed, and today we're going to imagine the Fridgowave. This one is very much a no-brainer. It's obvious we have a machine to quickly heat up our food, so why can't we have a machine to quickly chill our food or drinks? Well, it turns out it's not quite that simple. Unfortunately, physics makes things a little more complicated. To understand why, we need to learn a little bit about how heat works. But don't worry, we'll keep this part really quick. Heat is simply a form of energy. It is basically just how fast particles in an object are moving. The faster the particles are moving, the more heat is generated, making an object hotter. By contrast, the slower the particles are moving, the less heat there is, and so the colder an object is. Therefore, coldness technically doesn't exist. It is merely the lack of thermal energy that would otherwise result in heat. So with that in mind, let's take a quick look at how the humble microwave works. Radio waves of a specific frequency are transmitted inside the microwave that agitate the particles inside the water molecules that are within the food. This influx of energy causes those particles to speed up, generating heat that heats up the water and ultimately heats up the food. This all works because the radio waves are able to agitate the particles and make them move faster. Unfortunately, the laws of physics don't allow for radio waves to do the opposite and slow down particles to cool things down instead. For this very simple reason, we are yet to see a Fridgowave. But what we do have is the humble refrigerator. So let's see how the fridge manages to conquer the cold in ways that radio waves of a microwave cannot. At their core, refrigerators rely on the changing state of a refrigerant substance to remove the heat from inside a fridge and transfer the heat to the outside of the fridge. The simple explanation is that cool liquid refrigerant is passed through evaporator coils at low pressure. During this process, because of the low pressure, the liquid evaporates to form a gas. When a substance evaporates and transforms from a liquid to a gas state, it absorbs heat, even without affecting the temperature of the substance itself. This causes the now gaseous refrigerant to absorb any nearby heat, effectively cooling down anything inside the refrigerator. To sum up the rest of the process, the refrigerant basically then gets repressurized via a compressor, which causes it to condensate back into its liquid state. Opposite to evaporation, which absorbs heat, this condensation expels heat, effectively removing the heat from the cycle into the environment outside of the fridge and recooling the refrigerant. The cooled refrigerant, now back in its liquid state, is then ready to repeat the process. Over the decades, this process has evolved and been refined to become the incredibly efficient machines that we rely on in our homes today. But despite this, refrigerators' relatively slow cooling speeds just don't compare to the ability of microwaves to instantly manipulate particles and seemingly heat food within just a few minutes or even seconds. So with all that in mind, what hope is there for the Fridgowave? Well, despite the aforementioned limitations, there are still companies setting out to tackle this challenge. Let's take a look at some of their different approaches. These first two examples seem to take a bit more of an old-fashioned approach, pretty much just using ice to quickly cool drinks. The hyperchiller allows for warm or even hot drinks such as coffee to be channeled through a stainless steel chamber that is surrounded by ice. This simple design can chill drinks within minutes, but will only cool a couple of drinks before needing to be placed in a freezer to ready the ice for the next use. Despite this, it has still managed to receive quite a few positive reviews, including Unbox Therapy. Similarly, the Chillermatic also uses the ice approach, but this device is more specifically designed to cool cans of drink. The cans are simply placed in a bath of ice cubes and spun to evenly distribute exposure to the ice. This simple technique manages to cool a can in just 1 minute, but it can get a little messy and still requires ice cubes to be supplied. Our next example initially looked quite promising, but unfortunately has seemingly failed to deliver. The Juno Chiller was launched on crowdfunding platform Indiegogo by Matrix Industries. Similar to the Chillomatic, this device worked by rotation, spinning a cooling chamber adjacent to a heatsink. The project launched 3 years ago, managing to raise almost $300,000, but after a year of limited updates and delays, the project has since gone radio silent, with no updates for almost 2 years. Their page on Indiegogo is littered with comments from backers requesting refunds. This is especially disappointing from a company that appears to sell some health-related devices, but yet seems to have a complete disregard for their customers' trust. Last up, we finally have a decent contender, the VTech by Australian company Brian Cummins Group. At a pricey 12,000 Australian dollars, this machine has been designed for a more commercial setting, better suited to retail or hospitality environments. Built more like a large-scale kitchen appliance, it shares a similar form factor to that of a dishwasher. It offers 2 cooling chambers and can chill a bottle of wine in 4 minutes or a can of drink in just 1 minute. While still early days, the VTech seems to have carved out a genuinely useful niche for itself. It serves a real purpose beyond a gimmick and offers genuine value in a commercial setting. It has also proven itself at expos and in demonstrations, as we will now see when it was featured on Sydney's Kiss FM Kyle and Jackie O radio show.
So check this out, everyone. Go on. It's at, this is called a drinks chiller. It chills drinks down to 2 to 3 degrees centigrade. A bottle of Nueva Sangria or Prosecco, for example, 4 minutes in this machine, and it's freezing cold. 1 can of Coke in the machine, 1 minute, freezing cold, ready to drink.
And we're going to try it out here.
We're going to try it out.
I need to test the bottles,
so
temperature.
It's used, we've got one in there now, so we'll do it in a second. So it's used in bottle shops, offices, hotels, restaurants, convenience stores, any big events, festivals, anywhere where you need to chill a drink. You get this. If you want to register your interest, go to drinkchiller.com.au. Peter, type that in. Yep. Put it on the big screen, drinkchiller.com.au.
So it's like one of those big portable fridges you'd have in like a garage.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's not as big as a fridge. It's sort of smaller than a dishwasher.
It's like having a freezer.
It's exclusively available in Australia and New Zealand from the Brian Cummins Group.
Oh, it's chilling now.
So it does make a bit of noise, like the microwave.
Yeah, it's just a little noise there, and it's using some advanced technology which chills it in 4 minutes, a whole bottle. So if you go to like a Dan Murphy's or something and they've got a machine, you pull it off the wall, you put it in.
Do they have them there?
They were going to have them at all the bottle shops. All the bottle shops are all over it. They're like...
And so you as a customer can go, can you put in the chiller, please?
Exactly. That's what you're after.
How many does it take? How many bottles at a time?
2 bottles at a time or a couple of cans at a time.
Then like the bottle shop could charge, like
they would
$2.
charge. They'd charge.
And I'd do with that.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm on it first. You want it first? You can get the first one, Jackie.
What, the whole machine?
What do you mean? Yeah, you can buy the machine.
Oh, how much is it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't ask how much.
Does anybody know how much it is?
How much are they? 12 grand. Oh, that's easy.
Well, grand.
Okay, now pull that can out. Pull that can of Coke out.
Oh, that's
Is that freezing
ice cold.
Ice cold.
That's ice cold.
And that took 1 minute.
That's colder than what I would get in my fridge.
Oh no, that's
for
good.
a day.
Okay, let me crack that open just for some clarity here. Okay,
Wouldn't
now,
that be a warmer?
Did we put the bottle of booze in? It's in there now. So we're going to freeze this bottle of alcohol. And we're going to bring it out. It'll be fun. So if you want to see it,
I guess if you're a baller, this would be a good thing to get.
And that's exactly what I am. Now there we go. Is the alcohol?
Oh, that's great. That's very cold.
Pass it over the Prosecco, please.
Super cold.
Oh my God, that's colder than you'd want it.
It is. No, trust me, Kyle. Can never be too cold.
Is that right?
Yes. For like wine and things, you do not want it.
If you've got someone in your life that has everything and they just need their alcohol chilled within 4 minutes,
that's the present.
I feel that this is a perfect present for someone like you, Jack.
I would have it
just
to impress my friends. I'd be like, don't bring over anything cold. Bring it over warm.
That's right. And they go, why warm? You go, well, check this out.
Yeah, check this out. This is gonna. And even if it's cold in the fridge, I'd still put it in there to make it even colder.
Yeah, well, you're a show off like that. I get it.
But it's cold, icy cold.
It's pretty good technology, I feel. So your dream of a reverse microwave has come true.
It's finally come true.
So with that, we can see there is at least a glimmer of hope for instant chilling devices to make their way to market. They may not come in the form of a microwave as such, but there is still hope nonetheless that such devices may still be able to get the job done. The only question that remains is, do we actually need or want these devices? As nice as it might be to instantly cool our drinks, the reality is most of what we keep in the fridge isn't about having something cold, but instead more about keeping food cold to keep it fresh. We will still always need our refrigerators, and anything we would usually want to chill will almost always already live in the fridge. So do I wish the Fridgowave existed? Sure, it would be cool to have, but do I need one? Probably not. If I had one, I'd probably very rarely use it, but it certainly could make sense in more of a commercial setting. So what do you think? Do you wish the Fridgowave existed? Like this video if you do, or let us know in the comments, or let us know what else you wish existed. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.